Namaskar. Welcome to the example number 1 under the chapter number 4, birth time rectification. In the previous video, I was explaining you about what is the birth time rectification and what is birth time verification and what is the importance and necessity of doing the birth time rectification and the authentic method of doing the rectification of the birth time as per EPS. In this video, we are going to discuss on one chart with one example, one event. For example, that event is marriage. The native got married on so and so period. Based on that event, how we can verify the birth time, whether it is correct or it is required to adjust the birth time and how we can do it. Please follow carefully step by step the method which I'm going to follow. Let us go into the video. This is the birth chart of a female, which we are going to verify the event of marriage, the timing of event of marriage, whether it is matching to the given birth time or whether it is required to rectify the birth time. Before proceeding further, let me explain what the first step we are to check. As soon as we receive a chart for any sort of analysis, it's our duty to verify whether any possibility of any birth time change. That we have to check. What is the first step that has to be done for that? Look at the ascendant position, that is cuspal positions, and look at the not only the ascendant rulers, but also all the 12 cuspal position you check. Which are the cuspal sublords are in border, or which are the cuspal sublords are ruled by the short duration sublords. For example, Sun, Ketu, Mars, Moon. These are the duration of the sublord will be lesser, that you are aware of it. Why? Because this native was born on 5th November 2002, before 12 midnight, 11:58 p.m. that native was born. Suppose if 2 minutes the birth time is not it is to be added, or the birth time was 12 a.m. on 6th November. So the date will change, the time will change, and the duration of the cuspal sublord will change. So that way that will have more impact on many things. Now let us check what is the necessity of the checking the sublord of each house. Look at the ascendant sublord is Mercury. Second cuspal sublord is Sun. So Sun means okay, it is in the board. It is in the shorter duration sublords. While you are checking the sublord, look at the cuspal sub-sublord also. What is the necessity of checking the sub-sublord? It is to identify the duration of the sublord. It means Sun sublord and sub-sublord is Rahu. It means first sub-sublord is Sun, then Moon, then Mars, then Rahu. After that, it is in between. After that, Jupiter is there, then Saturn, Mercury, Ketu, Venus. So then that Sun star sub will over, right? So that way it means that Sun sublord is in the middle. So by normally Sun sublord will be for 3 minutes approximately. So increase by 2 minutes, or it will have impact on the sublord, increase or decrease of the birth time. Sun sublord can change. And look at the third sublord is Saturn. Okay, it is not a shorter duration planet, and also sublord also not indicating sublord of the third house is not in border. Then look at the fourth sublord is Moon. That Moon is also, it is a shorter duration like Sun. So this also can change when the birth time is increased or decreased. Then similarly, look at the fifth cuspal sublord is Ketu. The subsublord is Mercury. Just 1 minute increase the birth time, the cuspal sublord of the fifth house can change to Ketu to Venus. The 2-3 minutes reduction, that Ketu can change to the previous sublord Mercury. That we have to keep it in mind. Then sixth sublord. So this second sublord can change by decreasing the birth time, and of course increase also can change, and moon can have impact when the birth time is reduced, because sub-sublord is Saturn, moon, Mars, Rahu, Jupiter, and Saturn. After that, then few more sublords are there. So any increase in the birth time or decrease in the birth time can have impact on the moon. Increase, just 1 minute increase in the birth time can have impact on the fifth sublord. Look at the sixth sublord, important because we are looking for the event of marriage. So we have to look at importance has to be given not only the primary cuspal sublord of the seventh house, but also the sixth rulers, because this is seventh sublord is the primary favorable house, and similarly sixth house is primary unfavorable house. So we have to look at both the cuspal rulers. As per EPS, we follow the key planets techniques when we are going to find all the 9 planets self-signification analysis. In finding the favorable key planets and unfavorable key planets, the sublord of the sixth house and sublord of the seventh house also will be playing an important role that would have studied in the theory, right? And also in example charts in practical case studies under marriage. Now let me come to this. Sixth sublord is Rahu, sub-sublord is Jupiter. It means just 2-3 minutes, if you reduce the birth time, that sixth sublord will change from Rahu to Mars. Why we have to think about that? Because Rahu, after that Rahu, then Rahu sublord and Jupiter sublord is running. So the possibility of 11:58, it can be 11:56 also, 55 also, 54 also possible, right? Increase the time also is possible. Just let us check. Normally the birth time what is recorded will be always, most of the time will be on the higher side. Now we have to see the possibility first for the rectification of the birth time. If there is any difference in the birth time, by reducing the birth time, what sort of impact it can have on the cuspal sublord. So sixth sublord will have impact if the birth time is reduced by 2-3 minutes. Then look at the seventh sublord, is our hero, Saturn. Sub-sublord is Rahu. It means only if you increase the birth time, that Saturn will change, not by reducing the birth time. By reducing the birth time, it will have impact on the sixth sublord, and it can have impact on the moon, that is fourth sublord and second sublord, not on the seventh sublord. Similarly, eighth cuspal sublord is Venus. This also can have impact because sublord is moon, Venus, then sun, then moon. So if any decrease in the birth time can have impact on eighth sublord also. And definitely this ninth cuspal ruler, ninth star lord is Mercury, sublord is Mercury, sub-sublord also Mercury. So it is clearly indicating that ninth cusp is in the border. So if any decrease in the birth time 1 or 2 minutes, what will happen? That Mercury star lord will change to Saturn. This Mercury will change to Jupiter, because Saturn star, Mercury star will previous to the Mercury star is Saturn star. Then Saturn star last subdivision is Jupiter. Then last subdivision of the Jupiter is Rahu. So this ninth ruler will become that star lord will become Saturn, and sublord will become Jupiter, and sub-sublord will become Rahu. So that way then there will be some good impact on the ninth rulers when you reduce the birth time by 1 or 2 minutes. So this we have to keep it in mind. So when we are decreasing the birth time, sixth sublord will have change, and ninth sublord, star lord also will have change. And tenth sublord is Rahu, sub-sublord is Jupiter. So this is also in border. This also will have some impact, right? Because after Rahu, then Rahu is the sub-sublord and Jupiter is the next sub-sublord. So any reduction by 2-3 minutes reduction can have impact on the 10th sublord also. 1 minute can increase have impact on the ninth sublord because which is in the border just starting. So that can have impact immediately. But 2-3 minutes can have impact on the seventh sublord and eighth sublord and 10th sublord, right? And 11th sublord is Mercury, sub-sublord is Jupiter. So this is not in border. It in the border in the sense after Jupiter, Saturn will come, then Mercury will be over. So if you increase the birth time, they will have impact on the 11th sublord. Now we are focusing on that 11th cuspal having any impact, right? So now we have to look at the 12th sublord. The 12th sublord is Moon. The Moon is the 12th sublord and sub-sublord is Jupiter. So this also, when we reduce the birth time, will have an impact. So out of this, we could see second sublord and fourth sublord and fifth sublord, sixth sublord, and not the seventh sublord. And eighth sublord, ninth sublord, 10th sublord, and 12th sublord. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 out of 12 cuspal sublords, that 8 cuspal sublords will have some impact when the birth time is reduced by 1 minute or 2 minutes. That, as I said, that shorter duration sublords and border sublord nines will have immediate change. But 2-3 minutes changes can have impact on the other remaining cuspal sublords as we discussed. Importantly, our focus is on the sixth cuspal sublord Rahu because that is the villain, detrimental primary house. And similarly, 10th cuspal sublord is Rahu Jupiter. Both are in the same position. So we have to see any change in the birth time. If it is reduced, this Rahu will become Mars. Then this Rahu will also become Mars. By the time 7th sublord will not have any impact. I think we're able to understand. So we have to keep it in mind. Okay, there's the impact are going to happen if you are going to adjust the birth time. Importantly, on the unfavorable primary house, 6th house and 10th house. Other than that, some other cuspal sublord also can have impact if you reduce the birth time. By increasing the birth time, some cusp sublords have an impact. First, we let us check whether it is required to reduce the birth time, right? So keeping in mind, we have to start our analysis, right? So now, one more thing also I would like to tell you that normally people used to verify the birth time accuracy and also fix it based on the ruling planets. You see, at the time of verification, 13 January 2025, 1:14:51 p.m., when I'm doing the verification or judgment of this chart, taking for analysis, that the moon in the sign of Mercury, star of Jupiter and sub of Jupiter. And ascendant rulers are these Mars, Venus, Rahu at the time of analysis. Basically, people used to follow that moon rulers should have connection to the ascendant rulers of the natal chart. If you say that, suppose Mercury is the ascendant Rasi Lord, Mercury is present at 2 levels, right? And of course, day Lord Moon has come. That's good. But Jupiter is 2 times repeated, sorry, in the ruling planets, but which is not at all there uh, in the Lagna. So normally what they used to say, you increase the birth time because Sun is the one sub-sublord to make into Jupiter, so that the ruling planets at the time of analysis will match to the ascendant rulers of that. So if you want to make Sun sub-sublord to Jupiter, we have to increase the birth time by way of just 1 minute or some seconds. We have to increase because sub-sublord is very fast. Only based on that, only they will try to fix it. But they will not bother about the cuspal position changes in the other cuspal sublords. I think you're able to understand. For example, even if you do like that, Suppose the same chart we are going to analyze for some other event. They are coming to for the consultation for some other reason, for some other purpose. So for after some time. That time the ruling planets will not be the same. Ruling planets can have, instead of Mercury, Jupiter, it can have Saturn also, it can have some other planets. Every time will not, we should, will we be doing rectification? No. So that is not the method of verification, right? The ruling planets at the time of analysis can have some connection to the purpose of analysis, right? Here, the purpose of analysis is birth time rectification, right? So here it is indicating Mercury, Jupiter are connected. So Mercury is present here. So then there definitely Mercury is present. So Jupiter is not there. So definitely there will be some connection between the Jupiter and the ruling planets also, but not required that all the time straight, right? If you see the Jupiter is the sublord, Jupiter in the star of Mercury in the birth chart. So the Mercury is also there. That way also you can take it. What I'm saying, the ruling planets at the time of analysis can have some, connection to the analysis, the which for the purpose of analysis. Suppose the purpose of analysis is many things, not the rectification for some event. So that will have the connection. So not on required to be connected to the ascendant of the birth chart. Based on the ruling planets, we should not adjust the birth time. That is all. If the birth time rectification is the purpose of analysis, then yes, that ruling planets can help us. It will be a helping tool. I think we're able to understand. Okay, so now let us go to the event. That said the native got married in so and so period. We have to check whether that period is, supportive or is the strongest one for getting married, right? So as per EPS, the strongest Bukti will favor for the marriage. During the marriageable age, which Bukti is running, which there during the marriageable age, there can be many Buktis will be running under the particular dasa. Destiny should support for the marriage, and dasa lord should support for the marriage. Then Bukti should be the strongest one among the Buktis under the marriageable age. That should be the strongest one. When the Bugdi is the strongest one, then the next planet which is acting as the Antra, which also definitely will be stronger when compared to the Bugdi, it will be comparatively less stronger. It means the Bugdi should be the strongest one, then the Antra will be the stronger. If the Bugdi itself is the strongest one, with having got all the key planets, with the primary, key planets and the secondary key planets and completing the chain. So with the 7th house, 11th house, all are playing. The key planets having got these houses are also playing role in the Bukti Lord, or top to down. Their own Bukti, if the Dasa Lord itself is like that, Dasa Lord's own Bukti can favor for the marriage. If the Bukti Lord is the strongest one, in own Antra it can have the marriage, conducting the marriage. If the Bugdilad is having got some weakness in its significations, but it is the strongest one when compared to the other planets, but it is having some weakness. But why it is strongest? But it has got the key planets role on top to down. When we study as per EPS, we'll find this planet is the strongest one, having got all the key planets. Then Antra, in the Antra, what are the key planets are missing in the Bukti, or to complete the chain, the Antra, if it is having got, definitely in that Antra will the marriage will happen. This is the basic rule, right? If the Dasa itself is stronger enough in all the ways, then in own Dasa Bukti Antra, the marriage can happen. Now let us check the native had got married in which period and how to do that. First of all, we have to check in which day, what is the date of the marriage. Let us check with that first. The native got married on date of marriage is on 27/11/2024. Once we got this date of marriage, what we have to do? We have to open the Dasa Navigator and we have to check that 27/11/2024 is falling under which Dasa, Bhukti and Antra. 2711. So Mercury Dasa, the native is running, and Mercury Bukti also running. And 2711 2024 means it is falling between this Rahu Antra, Mas Antra to Rahu Antra. It means 2711 2024, 19 2024 to 11 1 2025 Rahu Antra is running. So the native got married in Mercury Dasa, Mercury Bugdi, and Rahu Antra. So we have to find the Dasa Bugdi Antra period, DBA, and which the native got married is Mercury Dasa in own Bugdi Mercury and Rahu Antra. So it means what? The in the running Dasa Bugdi itself, the native got married. So the Mercury should be the strongest one among the all the planets, should have strong enough. Then only it has got the strength to conduct the marriage during its own Bugdi. And next one is the Rahu Antra. So we have to check whether that Mercury Dasa, Mercury Bugdi itself is strongest enough to conduct the marriage in it during its period. So this is the key planets. Sorry, this is the EPS table of all planets. I have just taken you to that. And let me open that self-significators so that we can see the signification of all the planets as well. And now let us check the Mercury planet. Mercury Dasa, the native got married, right? Mercury Dasa. Mercury Dasa, if you check it, Mercury is fine, it's a good key planet. And look at Star Lord Rahu, 10, 4, 8, 12, and 6 and 10 cuspal sublord. And the Star Lord of the Star Lord is Moon, 1, 4, 3, 7, 11 is good, and 4 and 12. This grouping is bad. Moreover, 4 and 12 is not a problem. And 10th occupant and 4, 8, 12 Star Lord is also not a problem because it is indicating some obstacles, but does not mean that because of that, that will not, support for the marriage, provided if it is getting good support from the strong favorable key planets by way of Rasi Lord conjunction and aspect, and also Star Lord of this Rahu also favorable, its unfavorable strength will get reduced. Now, this is unfavorable. 10, 4, 8, 12, 6, and 10 cuspal sublord is unfavorable grouping for the marriage prospects. So, even the star level having got favorable grouping, this strength, this unfavorable at the star level is not recommended. Now, sublord is Mercury is fine. Sub-sublord is again, star lord of the sublord is Rahu, that is not good, right? Let us stop with the star lord of the sublord. Now, let us not go to the sub-sublord. Star planet, star lord, and star lord of the star lord, sublord, and star lord of the sublord. Look at the effect planet, Rahu and Moon. This is unfavorable. So it is indicating that Mercury at the star level, it has got some weakness, strongly not supporting for the marriage. But the native got married in the Mercury Dasa and won't Bhukti. It means Mercury should be the strongest one. Rahu is the weakest one at the star level. It's clearly indicating the birth time is not accurate because the native already got married in this period. It is clearly indicating that Mercury should be the strongest one. For the given time, the cuspal positions of the Rahu, it is not strong. Right? One thing you have to keep it in mind. Suppose if the Rahu of the star level 6 and 10 is not there, then automatically the weakness, the detrimental signification of the Rahu definitely is going to be reduced or it is not present. But still, this planet will have 4-8-12 because Rahu Kaspal star lord for 4-8-12 is going to be there for quite some time. But the native got married in Mercury Bhukti. So it means that Rahu at the star level, despite some obstacles, it would have got some other good supports on the support level, and 12 level planet Moon also should be strong, further supported by the sublord, and no other planet is better than this planet. So Rahu at the star level for the Mercury should be free from the 6 and 10. So I think we already discussed about the 6th sublord and the 10th sublord is Rahu. So if you reduce the birth time, that Rahu can lose its 6 and 10, right? So let us check whether it is going to, how many minutes we have to reduce so that it will lose its 6th of Lord and 10th of Lord. So let me take to the cuspal position again. Now look at the 6th sublord, Rahu, and 10th sublord also Rahu. Now let me reduce the time by one. Go to utilities and adjust birth time. And let me minimize this. You can see the birth time is given 23:58 and step by -1. It means I'm going to reduce by 1 minute. Click step. When you click step, now 23:58, that is 11:58, will become 11:50. Sorry, I mean 23:57. I clicked 1 minute, one step by 1 minute. You can see 23:57. Now you can see sublord, still it is Rahu. But look at the sublord. Previously it was Jupiter. Now it has moved to the previous sublord is Rahu. It means it needs 1 more minute also minimum. Let us click 1 more minute, one step, 1 more minute. Now it is moved to 23:56. Now 6 sublord, instead of Rahu, it has become Mars. Right? Sublord is still, it is 10 sublord is Rahu only, but it's in the border. By the time you can see there could be some changes in the other cuspal sublord also that we will discuss later. 9, 7, 8 sublord is in border. There is no difference in the change in the 7th sublord. Saturn is the 7th sublord. By adjusting the birth time by 1 more minute, what will happen? That 10th sublord also will change to Mars. Now 6th sublord and 10th sublord both are Mars. So minimum of 3 minutes is required to make the 6th and 10th sublord to Mars. If only 2 minutes 6 sublord is changed, not the 10. So whether 2 minutes is enough or 3 minutes also enough, let us also check. So now 6 and 10 sublord is changed. Let us go to the Mercury table and check now whether that birth time correction has given any sort of impact. Let me open the self-significations now. Now you can see that Mars has become the 6 and 10 cuspal sublord, right? And Rahu is free from this. Now Mercury is a good key planet, and Rahu is 10 plus 1, 4, 8, 12, right? So occupying close to 11th cusp also present, that is good. And 4, 8, 12 is indicating obstacle, but CSL is not having any houses. Second planet Venus is 11, 3, 2, 16, 4, 11, 3, 2, 16, and 2. It is supportive for the marriage and more supportive for the professional prospect. This is Karma Trikon, right? So this is having some weakness. It is not, I cannot say it is strongly favorable, but it is indicating some obstacles. But one level is weak. Look at the star lord of the Rahu. It is favorable. 1, 4, 3, 7, 11. Good key planet. That is the Kama Trikon also. So that way Rahu in the star of moon, it is very good. It is reducing the unfavorable strength. And sublord is again, Mercury is again favorable. So that way star level is having some weakness. Star lord of the star lord is supportive, reducing the weakness. And sublord is again, Mercury is coming. It is very good. The same thing is repeated at the star lord of the sublord. Now, because of that, when compared to the previous position, this Mercury is comparatively better. Because of that, we cannot choose, okay, that birth time by 3 minutes have to be reduced. Now we have to see what are the other supports that Rahu is getting, making that Rahu is comparatively better strength. Where is Rahu? Rahu is pushed here. And which are the planets are in support to Rahu? Rahu is indirectly conjoined with the Sun and Mercury and Venus. So Mercury is the planet, and Mercury is giving supports to the Rahu by indirect conjunction as per EPS, right? And Venus, the Rasi Lord, also well connected. And what else? Sun planet is 2, 4, 4, 12. It is supportive, but mixed one, not very good. but not bad, not bad. Saturn is second lord, and Moon is aspecting to Rahu. So Moon is the star lord of the Rahu. That Moon is aspecting to Rahu. So Rahu has got some weakness. Rahu is getting the support from its star lord planet Moon by way of star lord and also by aspect, and Rahu also indirectly getting support from the Mercury indirect conjunction. So rulers links are fast. So the strength of the Rahu on unfavorable side is greatly reduced, and strength of the Rahu by 11th occupant close to 11th cusp and further increased by its star lord of the star lord and second planet and the planet Mercury. So though the star level is weak, but all the other levels are very good, and star level also getting support from the support planets. So that way that Rahu strength is getting reduced by the support planets and the other levels. Now, whether Mercury is strongest enough, there is no other planet is better. Let us make a fast check on the other planets. So look at Ketu. Ketu star level is good and sub level also fine, but it is sixth lord, also ninth. This is supportive, but star level has got good, and star lord of the star lord is got some weakness, and Mercury is good, right? So this planet is got star level, sub level is fine, but source level has got some weakness, doesn't matter. But let us keep this in waiting list. The only problem with the Ketu is the sixth sublord, sixth lord, right? And also nine. It is not detrimental, but not very strong, right? And Venus. Venus also in the star of Rahu, supported by Moon, and sublord is Saturn, so they are also favorable. But what is the difference between that Mercury planet and Venus? Both are in the star of Rahu. Venus also having got some weakness, and star lord also Rahu has got some weakness. So this is the weakness is at two levels are present, and sublord is Saturn is fine, but star lord of the sublord is seventh sublord in the star of this planet. It has got some weakness. It is getting reduced. So this way that Venus is having some weakness at the planet level and star level, and also Saturn is getting is losing its some strength at the Mars star lord of the sublord. This is also not very strong. Sun planet. Let us check what Sun is going to give. Let me move this. Sun is again have got some mixed signification that your free planet, so self strength is more, and Rahu again 4 8 12, and Mars is unfavorable. So this Sun will not give. Moon planet is good, favorable, Lagna Lord as well, and star level planet is sixth Lord and 919. It is supportive, but because of the sixth Lord has got some weakness. Sublord planet is Rahu is 4812. So star level planet it is here Rahu, but here sublord is indicating weakness. So result is indicating some weakness and supported by other planet, that is fine. That weakness is starting from the star level is Jupiter's sixth lord. And Rahu sublord is having 4 8 12. So 6 will get the support of the 4 8 12. Though 6 is getting reduced by the star lord of the star lord, but this has got some weakness and this is also getting some weakness, right? And Mars is 6 and 10 cuspal sublord. This is not good, and this is fine, and this is fine. So that this is weak. But star level, sub level, star lord of the star lord, all are good. But source is got weakness, 6 and 10 cuspal sublord. And if you see that, if you check the natal chart, Moon is posted in the sign of Mars. It means what? Moon will get the support of the Mars also. So it means Mars will give its impact to the Moon, and Moon will give impact to the Mars. So 6 and 10 signification will decrease the strength of the Moon also. It afflict, and of course Moon also will try to give support. So in either way, it is indicating some weakness or being spread to the star level, right? And some Rahu planet. Rahu is 4 8 12. The source has got weakness. Source can be weak, provided not detrimental, and star level, sub level should not support for the unfavorable. It should be favorable. Rahu has got some weakness. Star lord is Moon, and 2A level planet, star lord of the star lord Jupiter is mixed one because of the 6, and sublord is Saturn is good, and star lord of the sublord is mixed one, right? Star level is good, sub level is good, and planet is mixed one. Here you can see I was telling moon Jupiter is weak because Jupiter at the star level is weak, but 2A level it is not a problem. So star level, sub level ruled by the strong favorable key planets, right? And last level also it is fine. Sub lord also we can check if at all required. And look at the Jupiter. Jupiter is sixth lord. Okay, it is mixed one. And star lord of this planet is Mercury is good, and sublord is Moon is good, and again Jupiter is sublord. Star lord of the sublord. What is the strength, that how the Jupiter is good or bad? Jupiter is also good planet, and the star level is good, and sublord also good. Everything is good only. The only small minus is the starting point. It is the sixth lord, ninth lord occupying Lagna. Six is not further supported, but being the sixth lord in the star of your planet Mercury 312, it has got some weakness also is being passed on, further supported by this 4, 8, 12. 6, 12, 4, 8, 12. Some weakness are there. Of course, there are favorable grouping are there. But the book dealer should be the strongest one to conduct the marriage. So Jupiter has got some weakness, right? And Saturn. Saturn is seventh lord and seventh sublord in the star of Mars is mixed one. 5 and 3 and 6 and 10. And star lord of the star lord is good. Sublord is Venus also mixed one. So that we already discussed about the Venus and star lord of the Rahu. Sorry, Venus is Rahu. So this is not very strong. Now the question will come, sir, seventh sublord is Venus. Sorry, Saturn. Seventh lord also Saturn. In the star of Mars is talking about 5, 3, 6 and 10. How the marriage is promised? No. Seventh sublord in the star of your planet, 5, 3, it is supported to the 3 and 7. Definitely 6 and 10 at the CSL level for the 7, it is giving some weakness to the 7th. It is not favoring. But as I already said, Mars in the star of Moon, which is favoring to this, right? It is supporting by way of 2A level. And Mars planet, if it has got some other planet in supports, that will also further support in reducing the Mars unfavorable. Where is Mars posted? Mars is posted in the sign of Mercury. So Mercury is the important key planet, very good key planet. So Mars is getting the support of the Mercury also. Mars is getting the support of the Mercury. So that way Mars is weak, but Mercury is supporting, Moon is supporting. So that way unfavorable signification of the Mars is getting reduced. It is not making it favorable. Please understand this is not 6 and 12 sublord. This is only 6 and 10. One thing you have to keep it in mind, when the star level is weak, sub-level also supportive for the marriage prospects along with that some unfavorable grouping. Look at the unfavorable grouping, what they are indicating. 7 sublord, 3, 7 sublord in the star of your planet, 5, 10, 3, 6 and 10. These grouping, if you carefully study, they are all supportive for the professional prospects. And 2A level is favorable. And sub-level also 4, 11, 3 divided by Venus, 4, 11, 3, 2, 6, 10, karma trikon and second cuspal sublord. It indicates if you study carefully, through the seventh house, through the marriage or after the marriage, the native's personal life will be supportive, but more than that, her professional prospects and monetary prospects will be very good. So this destiny is supportive for the marriage, but more than the personal life, it is more favorable for the monetary gain and professional prospects, right? So that way, the destiny when you are studying, we have to look at the grouping also. So the destiny is supportive, but as we discussed, Saturn is also not very strong in conducting the marriage, though that the destiny planet. So now what happened? So what are the planets are favorable? We checked all the planets. I mean, Mercury is the strongest one which checked, and what are the other planets? So I think I have already removed all the planets, so that whatever I have marked. But we know that we have removed, we have deleted many planets, no planets we have selected except Rahu. Rahu star level is good, sub level is Saturn. Moon and Saturn are playing role. But this planet also Moon and Mercury playing, but this is not good. So we have eliminated this. And this planet, because of the Jupiter 612 and 4812, we eliminated at the star level and sub level. And this same way we have eliminated, not strong enough. And this planet is, it is better, star level is weak, but not 6 is connecting to the 4812, only 3, 3, 1, 5, 11. And sub level also good, already we discussed. Right? So when compared to the other planet, Mercury is the strongest one, and so Mercury Dasa, Mercury Bugdi is strongest one, and native got married as we discussed. Mercury Dasa, Mercury Bugdi, and Rahu Antra. Right? You can see the in the Mercury, the good key planets are Mercury itself, and Mercury is repeated, and also other good key planets are Venus, only the second level. So not Venus is not a very strong planet, and as already we discussed that another planet is what? Saturn. Where is Saturn present in the Mercury? Already we discussed. Look at the Saturn. Let me erase all this thing. Where is Saturn? Saturn is posted in the sign of Mercury. So Mercury is supported by Saturn. Saturn is important key planet because of the 3-7 cuspal sublord, right? 7-11, 9-3-7-11. Saturn, Mercury. Mercury is supported by Saturn. So these Mercury is playing role, Saturn is playing role, Moon is playing role, and Saturn itself is playing role at the sub level also. But look at the Rahu Antra, Moon is playing and Saturn is playing, and Mercury at the last level. When Saturn is playing, obviously Mercury will be playing at the supports. And Mercury is here. Mercury is indirectly conjoined with Rahu. So Mercury is giving support to the that Antara Lord. So the key planets of the Buddha Lord are also playing role here. So I was trying to explain the method of analysis and how to justify whether that only Mercury, Rahu only favorable as per the steps, rules, as per the EPS when finding the which periods are favorable for marriage to conduct. So that also should not just like that to make Bukti Lord Mercury stronger enough by reducing the birth time, it is becoming comparatively better. But by adjusting the birth time, if any other planet is better than the Mercury, that Bukti only would have given the marriage. But Mercury Bukti itself is given, so it should be the strongest one. That is what I was trying to explain by studying all the planets, because comparative study is most important. So by finding this that strength of the Mercury and all levels, that the despite star level has got weakness, Mercury is the strongest one. So Mercury Dasa, Mercury Bukti has given the marriage, and the Antra is Rahu. Rahu is having got this star level moon and sub level important missing key planets of the Bukti Lord. Saturn at the ruler of the sub-sublord is present, but Saturn role is not straight away present. So 11th house, 7th house indicating Saturn also playing in addition to that. There is an added advantage because the primary cuspal sublord planet. So that way for the given event, we have reduced 3 minutes so that the birth time, that natal chart is supportive during that period, Mercury Dasa, Mercury Buddhi, Rahu. I think you're able to understand. Suppose the native is got some other event also after this marriage. Suppose the child was born. So during the childbirth, conception period and childbirth and some other important life event the native is happening. Accordingly, we may have to fine tune the birth time. But keeping in mind that 7th sublord should not change and 6th sublord and 12th sublord also should not change. Because when we are adjusting the birth time, we have to keep it in mind. 6th sublord and Mars, we have done it because Rahu should not come, right? For any other event, we want to do it again, rectify the birth time based on the other event. We have to keep this in mind. The 6 and 10 sublord and also 7 sublord, there should not be any change. I think you're able to understand. So that's this way we have to adjust the birth time, verify the past event and adjust the birth time. So the birth time of this girl is being fixed as of now for 11:55 p.m. Okay, so that way, if any further event is coming, we may have to adjust, if at all required, 11:55 or 11, not above 11:55. If above 11:55, the sublord will change 6 and 10. So this should be minimum 11:55. Suppose any other event is coming, it may have to adjust if at all required based on the other event, but keeping in mind 6th sublord and 10th sublord should not have any impact. I think we're able to understand this, right? I hope you understood the steps I followed, though with only small event and with just we can make it by practice with within few minutes also we can check the that cuspal sublord position which is in border or not and looking at the dasa periods and look at the Bugdi because that will be the strongest one. So adjust the birth time, whether the sub that how what is the weakness there in the Bugdi lord, whether that weakness is be reduced or not or changed or not. By few minutes reduction we can easily do it, and by the way we can check all the other planets also in a fast manner. But in order to make you to give training, I have taken in a slow manner, step by step. I think would have been useful to you. Okay, we'll meet in the next exam. Thank you.